Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to speak to you guys. Are we going to quiet down? Is that going to happen? Yeah? Okay, well, my name is Ayra Demirovich, and I am from San Francisco, California. And I wanted to thank you guys so much for coming and listening to all of us speak. But I want to take a second and talk about myself, if that's okay. um, so, as a human being, I hold many different roles and many different titles. I'm a daughter, and I'm a sister, and I'm a friend. I'm a high school student at the California Virtual Academy, where I'm dually enrolled in Stanford University's Humanities Circle. I I am an intern with the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. I am the author of the children's book Magnificently Different, and I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization called SAFE, which stands for Social Advocacy for Equality. But right now, I don't want to be any of those things. Right now, I want to be Play-Doh. Stay with me. Doesn't make sense right now. It will later. So I grew up in a very small suburban town in southern Indiana. My friends were the crickets and the cornfields and the smell of fresh hay, and I drank way too much sweet iced tea, and I rode horses, and I spent my summer nights chasing fireflies at the county fair. And I can't make any of this stuff up, you guys. Like, take any Mark Twain novel, and I promise my childhood is that of the young protagonist. And from all this, you're probably like, okay, she's just another country girl, and she's gonna tell us about her problems, but I'm not. I'm actually Muslim, and I'm first-generation American. My parents immigrated to the United States from a war-torn country where they suffered an awful genocide. English is actually my fourth language, and I didn't speak it fluently until well into elementary school. And even now, even now, sometimes I'll still pronounce the L in salmon, so forgive me if I do. I didn't this time. So you can imagine, I just presented two entirely different characters and personalities and, of course, stereotypes. So a bit of an identity crisis happened throughout my life. I had such a difficulty understanding who I was and what role I fit into. You know, was I the cornbread-loving country girl that I grew up to be, or was I the child of immigrants, which I was born into? Because both have very different stereotypes and very different traits. I moved to the San Francisco Bay Area in the summer of 2015. That fall, I started my freshman year of high school, and immediately, thanks to social media, everyone knew where I came from, who my friends were, what I did in my free time, and as soon as I stepped into that school, everyone just plastered a label on me. You know, they all immediately thought that I was just this country girl who didn't know anything more than cornfields. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that, but I didn't even have the opportunity to share who I really was. And no matter what I said or what I did, they immediately redirected all of it to what they saw at face value. And you know, this was really hard. I dealt with this throughout freshman year and throughout my sophomore year and even until junior year, which I'm a junior right now. And I started to figure out some of this stuff about a month ago. My best friend from Indiana, she actually invited me to prom. So I got to go to prom in Indiana, where I grew up, and I got to walk the same streets that I did as a child and hang out in the same places. And I remember that Saturday night, I was dancing and I was having fun with my best friends, and I took a step back and I looked at the room and I saw so many different colors and sizes and personalities. And all of these people, no matter how different they are, no matter how different their backgrounds were, they all called the same little town, they called it home. So that's what it is, you guys. It doesn't matter what color you are, what size you are, what background you come from. You can be all of it. You don't have to pick one. And that's when I came back, I realized I took this enlightenment, and I decided that I wanted to share it with the world. So back to my nonprofit organization. I started this organization with the goal of teaching kids in San Francisco about tolerance and inclusivity and kindness and, of course, social justice. And I teach them this through my book, Magnificently Different, and with a childhood toy that I played with a lot, Play-Doh. So you guys know what Play-Doh is, right? You don't know what Play-Doh is, really? We all know what Play-Doh is. Everybody loves Play-Doh, right? We all love Play-Doh, not the philosopher, like the toy. Can I get like a verbal confirmation? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so Play-Doh can be smushed and pressed and made into anything, like literally anything. 1 second I can make a pair of shoes out of my Play-Doh, and the next it can be a plate of spaghetti. And there's no way that Play-Doh's supposed to be, you know? It's whatever the creator imagines in that moment. So that's what I try to teach kids, and that's what I hope to teach you guys today, is that you don't have to fit a certain mold. You don't have to be a certain way. You can be however you want. And if you embrace who you are and all of your differences, everyone will really understand how incredibly special you are. So I encourage you to be a ball of Play-Doh in a box of Legos. Thank you guys so much. My name is Ayra Demirovich, and today and every day, I am Play-Doh. Thank y'all.